Oh, hey, John.
Hey.
Thanks for coming on. Come in. I hear you wanted to chat about something.
Yeah, just a quick thing. You know, I love being on the show, and a lot of times people try to do a stupid Office parody, and I just wanted to make sure we weren't doing that.
That's cool. Don't worry about it. We would not do anything like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. What was that?
What?
You just looked at the camera like we do on the show.
I think you're being paranoid. Look, if it makes you feel better, I can just get rid of the camera altogether. So, do you want to just go outside?
I mean,
That'd
that
be
seems
great.
excessive, but...
I mean, John's just... He's freaking out a bit, so... Now we're all good.
We're all good. All right,
Everything
so
is honky.
Are we looking forward to...
Yeah.
He's shooting through the blinds. This is an Office parody right now. Oh, my God.
This
Rove,
is
come on,
not
man.
an Office parody. Will you just calm down? This is not an Office parody. This is an Office parody.
See? I told you.
I thought it was a Modern Family parody.
We can do it.
It's just awkward now.
Tonight, from Modern Family, Ty Burrell, WWE superstar, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And from The Office, John Krasinski. From Hollywood, here's Rove McManus.
Not ready for that. Oh, they're coming for my wallet! Hey, guess what? The other day, right, I'm driving here in LA and I was hungry. I was in a bit of a rush, and so I pulled into a drive-thru, and the lady at the window said, deposit or withdrawal. Now, at first I was going, well, maybe I'll deposit something after I've eaten the food, but then I realized it was a bank. It's a bank, that's right. In America, they have drive-through windows at banks, so you don't even have to get out of the car. That's genius. We do not do that in my country. I've not seen that before. But I think it's absolutely wonderful, because obviously they have it here because that walk all the way from the car to the ATM, it's so draining, it's like, oh, my legs! I have to push all the buttons. Receipt printing, ah! Sorry for yelling. But I get it, like, it's convenient. For bank robbers, mainly. Like, now, they don't even have to leave the getaway car. It's just, keep the motor running, me. Okay. Hand over all your money and one of those little moist towelette things. And it's not just the banks. Like, there's... after I had this experience, I went online and just sort of Googled what other drive-through experiences there are outside of fast food. There's dry cleaners. There's a drive-through church and wedding chapel. Great for a Kardashian wedding. Too soon, yeah. Yes, congratulations, you two, and for your divorce, just drive through to the next window. There's even, I found this out, there's even a drive-through sex shop. I think we all know what they upsize. Cox, it's Cox. I got that? Yeah, good. There's also a place, you'll love this, Stone Cold, in Texas. There's a place called Double Shot. I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's a drive-through that sells alcohol and guns. Conveniently, it's situated right next to the drive-through funeral home. And that is not a joke. It's called the Adams Funeral Home. Look it up. What they do is they pull the casket up to the window and people literally just drive by to pay their respects. What a beautiful eulogy that would make. He was a good man and a kind man. He loved his kids, always had time for them. Rest in peace, he will be missed. So there you have it. It seems like the only reasons you have now to even leave your car in America is to pee. Or is it? God bless America! Let's pull over and talk to these guys. You know him from Modern Family. It's Ty Burrell. WWE Hall of Famer and actor Stone Cold Steve Austin. And from The Office, it's John Krasinski. Stone Cold, have you heard of Double Shot? Are you aware that it even existed?
I did not know Double Shot existed. Now, I've done my own Double Shot system, but I didn't know it was a franchise yet, and sorry that I didn't capitalize on that venture myself.
You should look into that.
It is rampant in Texas, though. And from what I've seen out here in California, I mean, yeah.
Well, I have gotten very excited by it because in Australia, the only real, obviously apart from fast food, the one drive-through experience we have is liquor stores. We call them the bottle-o, the bottle shop. I think it's just something...
And that's normal.
Yeah?
That's totally normal. Yeah.
Is that a normal thing here?
I don't know about here. I actually just went through a drive-through in North Carolina, drive-through booze. I think that was what it was called, drive-through booze. They didn't care to get creative because they knew you needed it. Yeah. But you drive through and a guy comes up, asks for your order, and I got very nervous because, a guy was taking the order and doing all that, and I was like, this is cool, I'm totally doing whatever they do down here. And then he opens up the back of your car, and I was like, we're all gonna die. Yeah. We're all dead, and he loads your car, and then, the only hitch is he comes with you to whatever party you're going to. Like, now you got me, sorry.
All right, well, we've got an hour to fill, so it's plenty of time to get to know you in a segment we've creatively titled, Getting to Know You. You won an Emmy for Modern Family, and you keep it next to a pile of dirty clothes.
At the moment, it's in the laundry room.
Seems like an unceremonious place for an Emmy.
Yeah, we got home the night of the Emmys, and we put it on the table, on the dining room table, and then went to bed. And in that time, when the sun came up and I came out and there was an Emmy in the middle of our dining room table, I was like, oh, well, I've become a douchebag. So we went around the house like looking for places to put it on some shelves, and we're like, super douchey, double douchey, extra douchey, weirdly douchey. And then we finally put it in the laundry room.
If the Office had won, I would just be honored. I wouldn't feel like
Well, John, you are a successful actor from The Office in movies like Something Borrowed, but your real goal... to open a donut shop in LA?
Whoa. A donut shop? I'm not opening up a Yum Yum. I was thinking of opening up a Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh.
And now you know why it's my life goal.
Do they not exist?
To make that guy happy.
Does Dunkin' Donuts not exist in LA?
No, the whole health kick.
Right.
And that wasn't great for Dunkin' Donuts business. But no, I mean, I think that it's a special place that America needs to celebrate everywhere. Namely because the coffee's so good and they don't care how big a cup they give it to you in. It's like a garbage can size. Oh, God, this is so good. And for some reason, the lids don't grab the top very well. It's like, thank you very much. Oh, it's all part of it. It's all part of it. Oh.
All right, Steve, you are a WWE icon and notorious tough guy, but you also like to collect antiques.
Wouldn't you expect that I would be an avid antique collector by looking at me?
No.
I think it's great. Move on. Move on.
So what kind of antiques do you collect?
I just get a kick out of collecting old porcelain enamel signs, oil and gas, petroleum-based stuff. Coca-Cola stuff is what I started, collecting back in the day when my mother got me involved in it. And so now to this day, I'll, Saturdays and Sundays or when I'm not working or whatever, just cruise around, looking to find some cool shit. But it's always, a fun process to go to because a lot of people, when I was in the business of professional wrestling within WWE, when the show's over, you don't roll credits, and it doesn't say Stone Cold Steve Austin, played by this guy named Steve Austin. So, when I roll up into an antique place, and there's a bunch of old people milling around, they think this guy's going to be drunk and just an extremely irritable human being.
And they're right.
Which I'm not. But so it's kind of fun. You know, there ensues the haggling process.
Oh, right, yes. Your negotiating tactic.
The price on
Stone
anything
Cold.
isn't exactly what you pay.
You do well, though, right?
I
you do very well.
I do okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's always funny when you grab someone by the throat and start squeezing, the price goes down drastically. It's a great thing.
We can all use that. We can all use that. All right, we're going to take a break. More of the boys when we come back. Welcome back. I should start by properly congratulating you, Mr. Ty Burrell, on your Emmy win. We were joking. Now, would it be fair to say you were a bit of a late bloomer to acting?
I did a lot of things very poorly for a very long time. And then I got into acting and did that very poorly for a very long time.
So what were you doing up until the point of going acting for me?
Things like I was a forest firefighter. I was...
Hang on.
Wait a second. Wait, are you allowed to be bad as a forest firefighter?
No.
That seems awful.
No.
How are you
It's over
bad?
here, Ty. You're like, what?
I remember the very first fire. We had, you know, it's two guys in a truck, and you've got a 500-gallon tank truck and a hose,
What?
and a lot of time with each other. No. And so all I had done is like, you know, run and like read through the manual, and like the next day there was a fire out on the freeway. As we were driving up, all I remember is negotiating with the guy about, I was basically trying to convince him that it was out of our jurisdiction. And I really was. I really did. I started by going like, you know, it's on the freeway. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, that's in our jurisdiction. And I was like, no, but I can see on my patch deal, it's a tree. You know what I mean? There's no trees there. And he's like, no, it's in our jurisdiction. I'm like, if you think about it, the freeway goes just right into a city. You know what I mean? It's just like a flow right into a city. And then we got there, and he basically had to push me out of the truck. And then I was leaning against him. I had the hose, and I was literally trying to get away, and he was pushing me, so we just stayed. We were just static.
Good times.
Yeah.
You would have had... it seems like the actor thing. Before you get into that, there's always bad jobs.
Oh, yeah. Tons of jobs. I don't know if they're bad jobs. I think they're good jobs that I agree. You're just horrible at them. Because in your brain, you're like, I'm going to act someday. And the manager at the restaurant's like, you definitely won't. You will not be good at anything for the rest of your life. Yeah. I was a bartender at a bar in New York, actually. Like, I didn't really know the rules of bachelorette parties and stuff like that. So I was bartending, and these bachelorette party girls came up, and they had been going late and long. And they were like, we just want something crazy. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how to do anything crazy. Do you want beer or Jack? Like, that's all I got. And they were like, no, but like, what's like a fun shot? And the only thing I could think of at the time was like, cement mixer, which is Bailey's and lime juice. And you shoot the Bailey's and then shoot the lime juice and swish it in your mouth.
That's not a real thing.
No, and it turns into like rubber in your mouth. So all these girls were like, hilarious, cement mixers. And they did one, then did two. And one girl, the third girl, as she put down the lime juice, she was like, "Eh!" And just like it didn't even go down. And everything from the night, like, I think a tiara came out. And I was like, oh my God. And I just looked to the manager and was like, I should wrap it up. I'm fired. I'm fired. Okay.
What about you, Stone Cold? Like, were you like a ballet instructor or something? What was your weird thing you did?
Hey, man, lay off him.
Seriously.
That's why you're
Please.
here. That's why you're here. You're buffer.
I know he's a nice guy, but you keep egging him on.
Yeah.
Critiques are stupid, ballet kid.
I only ask you this because before the show, I was talking to John and Ty, and they said you were a pussy. And I just went, you can't do that. Why would you do that?
Normally, when I go on a talk show and someone calls me a pussy, I get mad. But tonight, I'm not mad. I'm happy to be with this guy. He's a douche. And I haven't made up my mind on this gentleman right here, but if they're going to call me pussy, I'm cool with that.
But you got into wrestling pretty much straight away from a very young age.
Well, you know, Growing up in a small town in South Texas and changing channels on the TV one time when I was 7, 8 years old, I just saw a business, 2 guys in a ring. It was a smoke-filled arena, and just fell in love with that business. I knew one day that's what I wanted to do for a living. But, you know, growing up in a small school in South Texas, in high school, you take this little aptitude test, you know, when you fill in the little circles to try to give you a heads up when you get in college what you might want to do with your life. And so I did all the little circles, and a couple of days later, the test results came back, and mine said, based on the circles that I filled in, that I would probably be, you know, really good at being a park ranger. I'm kind of a type A personality, and I got a short attention span, and a fucking park ranger ain't happy. But it ended up going to college and screwing around for a couple of years with the football scholarship, and just saw a commercial for a wrestling school one night watching wrestling, and said, that's it. I was loading, unloading trucks, heavy shit on a freight dock. I said, that's it, I'm going to wrestling school.
It comes off a truck.
Yeah, but you know, when you tell people you went to wrestling school, it ain't like going to acting school or, you know, a real college to be a doctor or anything of merit.
Thank you. Acting's just like being a doctor.
You know what I'm saying?
Finally.
You know, usually it's some guy who's, you know, got 10, 15, 20 years and is a con artist. No, there's no kind of real curriculum that you go through to learn the business of pro wrestling. It's kind of, you know, hands-on. I mean, it's not like you got, you know, chair shots 101 and, you know, all that bullshit. So.
But you have gone on to become one of, if not the biggest name in the history of professional wrestling. And, yes. Oh, yes. Applaud out of fear.
When you get paid to drink beer and jump up and land on your ass, it's a pretty good day at the office.
But it's well documented. You've broken your neck doing this.
Well, yeah.
And, like, you've got lots of injuries. You've had lots of injuries.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it goes with the territory. I mean, it's not ballet, but when you get into it, you know coming out of it, you're going to be a different human being, mentally and physically. You're going to be pretty fucked up. But I had a blast in the business, but it goes with the territory. By the same token, you know, I've got some of my friends back home who've laid tile floors for 30 years, and their knees and their back are worn out because that's what they do. So anytime you do something, you're going to feel the effects of it. I don't know what the fuck you're going to feel after this, because you just sit on your ass and cut jokes.
Yeah.
I need your spot.
Pussy. Actually, I would like to point out to Ty that I sometimes, watching Modern Family, worry about you, because you get put through a lot of very physical stuff yourself.
Steve and I are a lot alike.
And look, we have documented proof. Check this out.
Hey, buddy, I'm home.
Hey, Dad, think fast.
Let me rock.
No!
I got it!
No! Oh, no!
We can get weight now.
Oh, God.
In the treehouse. Oh, go down.
Oh, God.
What?
You spit on me.
Emmy Award winning. Have you ever been hurt doing that, or are you safer off camera than on camera?
I have been, but it's so hard to talk about injuries next to this guy.
No, I want to hear something of it.
Everyone's got a scar story, like a good scar.
Well, I feel even more like a wimp sitting next to him, but I don't admit to it when I get an injury from being an idiot on my show. Like, I just pretend like everything's fine when, like, my neck is like, you know, that. And
I've even just being an idiot in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a scar on my chin from spinning around on a pole as a kid.
Yikes.
And then one rotation, wasn't paying attention, closed my eyes, leant out too far, and hit the next pole with my chin.
Sorry, I gotta ask, where are you with 2 poles? Are you sure you hit the pole or one of the patrons in the front row?
I was at a football stadium as a kid. I was at a football stadium. You know, in the days when getting dizzy was how you enjoyed yourself as a kid.
What do you mean the days when getting dizzy?
That's still fun now.
Yeah.
Have you got a scar? Any injury stories, John?
Totally, I'm super tough.
Yeah?
No, I don't. I have scrapes and bruises from...
I was actually interested to discover that you've got 2 older brothers.
I do.
And they are taller than you.
Much taller.
Which is astounding.
6'8" and 6'9".
Wow.
Yeah. So don't mess with me.
Easy.
All right? They know how to throw chairs, too.
Did you have problems with them, like when you're wrestling?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're huge, and they always were. At the age of, like, 3, they were 6'8" and 6'9". So, like, fighting and wrestling and all that stuff you do as brothers was way imbalanced for me. And yeah, I remember I was playing with a friend. I was playing, like, G.I. Joe. I was, like, 19. And then, my brother came over and for no reason just started, like, beating me up. For legit no reason. It was like, yeah, and then the guy, ow, ow, ow. And so as he walked away with his friend laughing, thinking it was hilarious, I thought I was reaching for, like, a G.I. Joe plane and ended up picking up a lawn dart. Which is a dart that's like this big. They're illegal. And I remember wiping the dirt off because it's sanitary. And then I just threw it in the air, thinking like, there's no way. And I heard, ah! And I would look back, and he was running with a dart out of his head.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't get scars, I give them.
Well, we will check our drinks, have a break, and be back with more after this.
Stood up.
I'm so sorry that I'm late.
Served. With
Scary. That was very scary. You done that before, John?
I have done it before.
Have you?
Yeah. It was one of my first dates with my wife.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be like the wacky guy who does like crazy dates. And it was like our 4th or 5th date, and it wasn't the best thing. It wasn't the best choice.
Had you done it before?
No. So I was like, yeah, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna just load it up. Oh my God. I just like put it down like that was very intense.
Well, when we were there, there was me, there was the next guy he was ants.
Not in several years.
Is that like 3? Several is 3.
Ty, do you get it out to impress people?
If I can find it to get it out.
John, how much are you enjoying these double entendres?
I'm just taking notes. I'm gonna use every one of them.
Of course, the reason for tonight's leading questions is guns. We need them like we need cholesterol and herpes. Still, everyone in this, yes, you heard me. I thought the time had come for me to handle my first gun, so I went to the LA Gun Club to learn more.
Why are you Americans so obsessed with guns?
Freedom. Our Constitution gives us the right to own and possess weapons. Here in California, we got 70% that does, and we have 30% that don't.
But they won't be around for very long. With the 70%, we'll get rid of them pretty quick. This is my first time ever holding or firing a gun. What am I in for?
By the time we get done, you're going to be very pleased.
Why would it be pleasing?
We have a saying here in America, gentleman with the better toys always wins.
Especially when those toys go boom.
We're going to pretend that the gun is now loaded.
Let's.
No, not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what the police officers use here in LA for duty.
Police officers use that?
Yes.
What are they trying to shoot? Airplanes?
No, bad
Guys.
So we can choose like a novelty target to shoot at today.
Yes, you can pick a guy shooting at you.
Zombies?
Oh, look, that woman is being attacked by Bigfoot.
I can shoot Bob Hawke in the 80s.
Use real ammunition here, like live ammunition?
Yes,
Or blanks?
this one here. No, this is for reals.
I've heard that about you, Marty. You're not shooting blanks.
No, I've been married a few times and have 5 kids, so
Hey, up top.
you want to make sure that...
You're pointing it at me. Don't point it at me. Man, do you also supply clean underpants for people? Because I'm going to need some.
That's extra charge.
God. Let's go shoot some bad guys. Is this about to happen?
Yes.
Whoa! That's scary.
Is it really?
That's really quite scary.
Remember, you got to go real slow so you can aim and hit what you're aiming.
But I'm frightened. I suddenly feel like a man. So how old were you when you shot your first gun?
I was about 6.
Wow, you really don't like your parents.
Isn't that a great feeling?
You love this a little bit too much. There are a lot of holes in the roof.
Those are accidental discharges.
I had one of those the other morning, but
Waited 15 minutes and it was fine.
That was good hit. Try to get his groin.
His groin?
Yes. It's a good way to go.
The results. Oh.
Got him a good hit. Look at this one. That's way off.
Yeah, there was some guy mouthing off over there. What's a good thing to yell out?
Freeze, motherfucker.
Freeze, motherfucker! What's the current exchange rate? Hey, punk, you gotta ask yourself a question. What's the capital of Burkina Faso? I think you and I would make a really good buddy cop pairing.
You think so?
Let's do a movie poster. Back to back?
Oh, back to back. Those are girl things.
What about this?
Oh, okay. That's the other kind of guy.
This is the Glock now. That's just like I ejaculated out of my hands. That's what that was. Wait.
You got an X. You're getting a lot better now.
Thank you very much.
Practice makes perfect.
In killing someone. Wow, it's like losing my virginity all over again. It was awesome.
Isn't that neat?
Just as noisy and just as messy. Right in this guy's face.
That was very scary. You done that before, John?
I have done it before.
Have you?
Yeah. It was one of my first dates with my wife.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be like the wacky guy who does like crazy dates. And it was like our 4th or 5th date, and it wasn't the best thing. That wasn't the best choice.
Had you done it before?
No. So I was like, yeah, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna just load it up. Oh my God. I just like put it down like that was very intense.
Well, when we were there, there was me, there was the next guy he was shotgun. And then there was like a date. It was like seeing the guy.
It's an adorable thing.
Like when you see someone with the pool cue and there's a guy standing behind the lady going, let me show you how to do it. So he's wrapping his arms around us going, yeah, that's how you want to hold it.
It's less romantic when, and this happened, the guy next to you had the target 3 feet away, had the gun on the table, and this is not a joke, and was beating his chest. And so he was going, bang. And I was like, we should wrap it up. We should get out of this guy. This is that moment. This is gonna happen. This is like, a terrible YouTube clip for everybody.
Now, I'm guessing, Steve, that growing up in Texas, you probably had a gun in your hand by age 6, too.
5.
You're a hunter?
Do a lot of hunting, and matter of fact, I'm heading down next week to my ranch in South Texas. It's deer season, and out here it's kind of funny. When you talk about deer hunting, a lot of people, you just can't believe that you're out there shooting Bambi. I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna eat the sumbitch,
Isn't your wife a vegetarian?
Absolutely. She doesn't hunt. She won't kill anything. Now she'll cook. She's a great
You shoot
cook.
all of her vegetables?
All the vegetables. Got to sneak out in the garden all for her to get those turnips, mister. Yeah.
Have you, growing up in Oregon, did you ever shoot? Tom?
Yeah, I never hunted, but we would kind of... I'm not the one who said it. Oregon's kind of a weird place because it's like there are communes and then there are like heavily armed guys with canned food. And so a lot of people have guns there. It's like a lot of extremes. And so my friend and I once a year would take all of the things that frustrated you, like a printer that got jammed a lot, or things like that, or a person who had too much information about you. And we would go up and shoot them.
Quick thing, everybody here is insane, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, before we head to commercial, there's one thing I'd like to do. It's, we had this... Now, in 12 years of doing this show, or a show like this is the first time we've ever had an idea that has been so divided in our building as to whether this is a fun thing to do or a stupid thing to do. But I'm going to do it anyway. It's a little something we are calling What's Making This Noise?
That's a synthesizer. That's a synthesizer. I know that one.
Now, this is a stitch-up because we're playing a shitty intro, so people go, oh, I don't know. Here's what's going to happen, right? I'm going to play...
So synthesizer's wrong?
That was not it. That was not
okay,
it. But good
synthesizer.
Work. Good work. John is ready. He's in the zone. So what's going to happen is I'm going to play a noise. Then each of you have to guess what's making this noise. Shut up. This will be brilliant. Okay. Let's play the noise. Okay, so, Ty, what do you think is making this noise?
It's a Foley artist trying to make the sounds of a guy walking through mud.
Good showbiz thought. Stone Cold.
Clearly, that was a duck taking a shit.
Clearly. John, what's making this noise?
I mean, obviously, it is a human soul escaping from the WWE when you squish and you step on their chest. That's the last thing they make, is
Well, let's see what was making this noise. And that was what's making this noise. Good segment. That's right. Yes. Stand up. That was brilliant. Wow. Oh my God. I need to take a break. Coming up, Secret Men's Business. Wow, let's just soak that in and we got to... Oh, wow. Welcome back to the show, or as I'm going to dub it tonight, the Man Cave. Mr. Cold, do you have a man cave?
I have a man cave, but it hadn't made it into the house yet. It's in my garage. So basically, the garage is where I have all my cool shit. My gun safes full of guns, and my neon stuff, my beer stuff, my skull.
Gun safes are for pussies.
All right, I'm a pussy. No, the garage is kind of my hangout. Got my TV out there. It's kind of my thing to get away from all the hassle and bullshit and just hang out in the garage with the car running.
I feel like we should have an intervention. You're like, oh, this shitty life.
Hey, God, you guys call me a pussy on the
leave
show.
the car running with a tube in the window.
Why'd they do it? Well, they kept calling me a pussy.
Is that what you meant by man cave? Did you mean clinical depression?
By man cave, you mean suicide hut, right?
What?
What do you really do in your man cave, though? Do you watch sports? Is that what happens in there?
I just go in there and tinker with my tools.
You know.
Hey.
You're a sports nut, though, aren't you, John?
Sorry, I'm still writing down that tinker with my tools. That is good.
I heard you were the inspiration for some T-shirt.
Yes.
For Boston? Was it Boston?
Yeah, no, I went to a playoff game for the Red Sox, and when I was in college, I held up two signs that said, "What curse?" because the Red Sox were supposedly notoriously cursed.
Oh, this is
before we won the World Series. Hello.
But they hadn't won a game for how many years prior to that?
Okay, careful. So I held up a sign that said, "What curse?" And the next day, I was on the front page of the Boston Globe. The front page was just me holding up "What curse?" and I was so psyched. And then we went to the game 2 days later, and all the paraphernalia was "What curse?" and I was like, "Come on!"
Oh, that's it.
That is it. Yeah.
That's what they stole your catchphrase for that.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
Yep.
Back in 1991, I had this idea for a thing called the internet.
Son of a bitch. Didn't you have a man's weekend with the cast of Modern Family?
Yeah, I mean, you could call it
you went to Vegas. We
went to Vegas. The guys in the cast and the writers went to Las Vegas, kind of like thinking we were going to have like this crazy guys. I guess what you do in Las Vegas. I'm not really, And we get there, and it's all of us sort of pasty, like, guys that haven't been out, like a bunch, 10 comedy writers and 3 losers. And we were not cut out for Las Vegas, essentially. We got there, and they had set aside this, like, cabana, basically, by the pool, and it was supposed to be, like, a private thing. But it turns out it was a nightclub in the middle of the day, with like this blasting, the unsa music with a woman on a pedestal dancing. And we're like flinching with every beat, and the sun, we're all just kind of like, oh my God. We're like
Can we get something just to nosh on? That'd be great. Thank you.
Now, I also heard that you've been trying to, you've been growing a mustache.
Literally, the only sign of virility that I have is my mustache, because there's nothing else that's actually even slightly masculine. And so
The rolled up jeans are pretty masculine.
or not.
Pussy. Real men yell pussy and then clap like this. Woo! So.
Yeah, so I was trying.
Get a good mo?
I really wanted an excuse, so I basically pitched it to my wife that maybe Phil on Modern Family would have a mustache. This was before the show ever aired. So I grew a mustache for the entire summer with my wife thinking it might be on the show. And then at the end of the summer, I sent off a photograph to our showrunners saying, what do you think? It could be kind of Ned Flanders-y if Phil had a mustache. And they sent back an email like 40 seconds after I sent it that said, you know, we already have a gay couple. Basically.
That's not gay.
That's a bit Tom Selleck Magnum P.I., I reckon. It's not bad.
If Magnum P.I. was dating Craig P.I.
Now, Stone Cold, I would suggest if you got rid of your goatee, you would be as smooth as a porpoise.
I'm not the same cat without a goatee. You know, every now and then I'll go down to the ranch when I'm in seclusion and no one's going to see me, and I'll take everything, all the facial hair off. And man, when you don't have any hair, and I had a receding hairline when I was 24, so the bald thing ended up working for me. I shaved my head, but I wouldn't have a whole lot of hair if it grew. When I take this mustache off, it's the drizzling shits. So I happen to look cool with this look. I think I look pretty cool. But I was backstage getting my makeup before I came on. The makeup lady says to me, you want to do your eyebrows? I'm like, I don't have any eyebrows, you know? So, you know, I said, don't draw any eyebrows on me, because people said, I look like Mr. fucking Potato Head out there.
Oh, I so want to draw eyebrows on you. If I get like a Sharpie or a magic marker, could I draw eyebrows on you later?
No.
Okay. Check. Oh, did you know you were on a blog for...
It's my blog.
Yeah, it's a blog...
John's awesome. Thank you.
Wow, this is great.
It's a blog called Better with a Beard. They've just got a list of celebrities where they've got a shot of them and then a shot of them with a beard, and they vote that it's better with the beard. This is your shot, and this is what they think. Look at you. Is that...
Savage.
What do you think? Okay. Steve, what do you think? Better with...
I dig it. I'm attracted to the guy, and I'm straight.
Great.
Yeah. Let's go to commercial.
All right. Actually, on this, I think this is a good time while we're bonding to launch into tonight's awkward family photo. So how this works is every week you might have seen them on the internet, those photos that people put together, those family portraits that don't come out all that well. And we've been recreating some of them ourselves on the show. This was with Justin Timberlake, Eliza Dushku, and James Marsden. This was last week. Michael C. Hall, Katie Lang, LL Cool J, and that crazy caffeinated kid Tyler from the audience. What I'd like to do this week is incorporate some beards, just to make it interesting. So, we've got pipes.
These are the worst beards.
I said beards would be good. What is that? That does not...
These are for barristers or something.
All right. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Have I got it right? That looks natural. To be fair, full disclosure, that one is a merkin, but that's...
Can I just say something?
Yes, you can.
For the first time in my life, I feel alive.
Lovely. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more after this. When we come back, Papa's got a brand new hat of questions. All right, I now say pray silence for...
The Random Question Hat. Tonight's Random Question Hat is brought to you by Ice Hockey. I had to retire from ice hockey due to injury. I kept breaking my knuckles on my opponent's teeth. Thanks, ice hockey.
Please reach in, grab a random question. These are sent in from our viewers via Facebook. You can do it at home. Tweet it. Tell us your dog ate it. I don't care. I'm not your teacher. Squeeze your dog and make it quack. All right, gentlemen, in your own time. John, do we go first?
What is your pet peeve? I have many. Yeah, I think maybe one of my biggest pet peeves is probably cab drivers talking on the phone in New York when you're driving behind, because literally the entire drive, I'm like, what was that? And he's like, no. And then 2 seconds later, he's like, yeah, no, let's go to. I'm like, sorry, I think, no, we're going over here. He's like, I'm on the phone.
I will say,
and I'll ask 16 times.
Thank you for using the term literally for its proper usage, because one of my peeves is when people say literally in the wrong context. Like, I bumped into my ex the other day. I literally died. I'm gonna guess you didn't.
It's unfair, though, because that was in an obituary, so...
Yeah. God damn it. Go Ty.
If you had a talking parrot, but it never asked for food, would you still feed it? Yes, I would feed it. To death.
You are a good man. Stone Cold?
I got a shitty question. Can I trade in this question for another one?
What's your question?
Can you quote a line from The Simpsons that Ralph Wiggum has said?
Oh, come on.
I can't. Can you?
I'll give you one. Can you say, my cat's breath smells like cat food in a high-pitched voice? It's as simple as that.
No, this is... I got this voice.
Do it!
I can't do it.
Pussy! My cat's breath smells like cat food.
My cat's breath smells like cat food.
I love this too much!
I should have done that the whole show.
All right, it's now time for my postcard home to Mum. So if you guys just get comfortable, I just write a little postcard to my mum, let her know how the show went tonight. Dear Mum, tonight we had Ty Burrell on the show. He used to be a fireman. But what he failed to tell us was that he also released his own sexy calendar. What? Okay. Coincidentally, John and Steve appeared in calendars in their early years too. John was in the '99 edition of Beautiful Bartenders. And Steve, who was hauling hay at a very young age, was Mr. January in a Texan calendar. Isn't he adorable? Speak to you soon. Love, Rove. P.S. I just heard Kim Kardashian got married again. This time to Charlie Sheen. I really hope it works out. P.P.S. They just got divorced. That's all from us. Would you please thank John Krasinski? The Office, Season 4, starts November 12th on TV1. Stone Cold Steve Austin. WWE is all over Fox 8 Main Event, and his tribute DVD is out soon. And Ty Burrell, Seaman Modern Family on the Comedy Channel. All your Rove LA goodness on Fox8.tv. Thanks for watching. See you again next week. Until then, I'm Rove McManus. Say hi to your mum for me. Good night!